Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope everybody enjoyed the Super Bowl. Heard it was a great game, and the Philadelphia Eagles came out on top, which is great to see. It's good that somebody else different won it for once. Sure, a lot of disappointed Patriots fans out there, but when you get used to winning like that, you can't expect it every single time. And Tom Brady will probably go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. The fact that he lost a couple of Super Bowls doesn't tarnish that record whatsoever. So, lots of wins, a couple of losses. Hey, if I was him, I'd take it. The fact that I think they won, 14 of the last 15 AFC East titles just really says how strong he was. And I think the one year that they didn't win it was the year that Tom Brady was injured and Matt Castle was there, but they still made the playoffs. So, hey. In any case, one of the things I wanted to talk about, so something I'm thinking about doing, and I'm going to start doing it very shortly, is a series of Catholic in a Car where I talk about why I became a Catholic instead of a Protestant. So I hope everybody's going to look forward to that coming up, and it's probably going to be over a number of videos because it's not as easy as just fitting it all within a 10-minute or less video. So I'll probably break it up into a number of series. Hopefully you'll enjoy it, and hopefully you'll get something out of it. And maybe you'll even hear something you've never heard before in my line of thought. But I wanted to share with you an interesting experience that I had going back a few years ago. So, as a Protestant, I grew up as a Protestant. I drifted away from going to church or anything like that for a number of years. But as a Protestant, when I grew up, we always took the Bible with us to church. And I think pretty much everybody did. So maybe some of the kids didn't. But even as a kid, I do remember having a Bible that I took with me to church. And I had been to a Catholic Mass maybe a few times in the past. I think as a young child, maybe twice. Once with my grandparents, and then once with a friend of mine. I stayed over a weekend. I hazily remember it now. But I stayed over for a weekend at a friend of mine's house. And anyways, we went to church the next day. He was Catholic. And the one vivid memory that I do have out of that experience was seeing him take the Eucharist and almost kind of longing for it, wishing I could be a part of it. And I obviously didn't know much about it at the time, but looking back, maybe that was the draw of the Holy Spirit. And that experience always kind of stuck with me. Growing up, we had always been taught to think that the Catholic Church was so bad and was the whore of Babylon and things of that nature, classic Protestant theology. And when I saw my friend receiving the Eucharist, I just knew that there was something different and something holy about the Catholic faith that I couldn't quite put a finger on. But regardless, I knew that there was something special about Catholicism. But the experience I wanted to share with you, like I said, I had been to a Catholic Mass a couple of times when I was younger. Then as an adult, I went to a Lutheran service once at an evangelical Lutheran church. So they're somewhat liturgical. They have their own liturgy that's roughly based off of the Western Catholic Rite. But this church was a very low church type of church, and they actually didn't celebrate the Holy Eucharist, as they would call it, that Sunday. Apparently they did it about once a month at that particular church. And I know that there's some variation amongst Lutherans, but my first experience of really going to a liturgical service, a liturgy of any sort, was actually going to a Greek Orthodox church. So I showed up for the first time, not really having any experience other than those couple of experiences when I was younger, and the one time at the Lutheran church as an adult. And I literally had no idea what to do or what to bring with me, the way to dress. I had read an article on GoArch, which is the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese of America's website, about a newcomer to an Orthodox Divine Liturgy and what to bring with me and whatnot. But you can only read so much. You actually have to go to the building and be with the people to really know what you're walking into. So in my ignorance, I actually showed up with a copy of the Bible with me, and I think it was a Protestant Bible. I want to say it was either a New King James or maybe the King James Version itself. I showed up with that in my hand, and that just goes to show my ignorance towards the ancient traditional forms of Christianity. I just had no idea that I shouldn't show up with the Bible because I had done so all my life as a Protestant, or, in my upbringing as a Protestant. So I thought it was kind of humorous, and I look back and I always smile about that now, but it's one of those things that just purely out of ignorance, I didn't know any better, and when I look back on it, it puts a smile on my face. But I remember walking into that Greek Orthodox church and just being amazed by the beauty on the walls. So in the Protestant church, we didn't have anything. We were very iconoclastic, and in the particular denomination that I grew up in, and we might have had a picture of Jesus up on the wall as you entered the church or something, but other than that, it was bare bones Christianity. There was no pictures, no icons, no holy statues or anything like that. It was basically 4 white walls, a pulpit, and a Bible, and that's about it. And then, of course, you had a minister or preacher up front. So maybe some of you that grew up as Protestant and maybe converted to a liturgical tradition, an ancient liturgical tradition afterwards, can relate maybe with that experience. And it'd be interesting to hear some of your own experiences in the comments below. That's all for now.